When real women tell real stories, the world listens. And that's exactly why this book became a #1 international bestseller. Voices of the 21st Century, Unstoppable Women Standing Strong celebrates the courage, truth, and resilience of women who have chosen to stand strong through real life events. Hi, my name is Gail Watson. I'm founder and CEO of Women Speakers Association. And today I'm so thrilled to welcome to our conversation today international best-selling author Nicole Aissa. This is your chance to connect with the heart of her story and the voice she brings to this powerful collection. So, welcome, Nicole.
Thank you, Gail. It's an honor to be here.
It's exciting uh, to have you and to have this conversation because, I mean, whoa, your story, you dive right in with a very shocking event, likely many people's worst nightmares. So, in just a few sentences, please share what your story is about and what inspired you to share it.
Sure. And I guess in interest of getting people to buy the book, I won't go into too much detail on what happened. But in 2022, I did have an accident where my finger was broken in 5 places and I was degloved. And if you don't know what degloved means, it means all the tissue and skin comes off of your finger. It's very gruesome. It took a plastic surgeon 5 hours to put it back together. And unfortunately, I am now missing a tendon in my left middle finger, which happens to be the strongest finger in your hand.
Wow. But I see you do have nicely manicured fingers with your
Fun fact, they told me I would never have a fingernail again. So the plastic surgeon who put my hand back together was very proud of himself because it did grow.
Awesome. Well, shout out to the plastic surgeon.
He was great.
Uh, so let's talk about what inspired you to share this story.
So Gail, going into this accident, I was going through a series of health issues. I was having problems breathing. I was coughing all the time. I was off and on prednisone for over a year. I also was in the throes of menopause. I had gained roughly 35 to 40 pounds. I just, going into this accident, I was kind of falling apart, and this kind of threw it over the edge. And because of the severity of the accident, I had to be out of work for 11 weeks. And during that time, I laid in bed a lot. I wasn't social. My arm was in a big cast. My hand was immobile. And one day, my husband came home and said, "You need to get back to the gym." And I said, "I can't." And he threw a pair of hooks on the bed and said, "We'll figure it out." And so I started going back to the gym with the help of hooks. It was very difficult. I felt very awkward. But as I was sitting by myself and scrolling through Instagram or whatever, I came to the conclusion I needed a big goal to get me out of my rut. And I decided I wanted to compete in a bodybuilding competition and hired a coach and started the process to get me to do that. So because of this and my other issues, I was very intentional. We all want a magic pill and we want to lose weight and we want to be where we want to be now. But I listened to the coach and I took the small baby steps and all the things that it took to get me to a stage to compete in a sparkly bikini and high heels.
Woo! Okay. So, I mean, we talk about unstoppable women standing strong, and you were like physically standing strong. But let's talk about the mental aspect of that because you make it sound so easy. Where, okay, no problem. Okay, I can do this because I'm a strong individual. But was it really that?
No, it was very difficult. There were a lot of tears. I was emotionally wrecked, just life itself, again, the breathing issues, because I had to work through that as well as my hand injury, which was the main issue. I also hurt my back somewhere along the line, had to get a cortisone shot. But emotionally, I was wrecked. There were tears. There was, I don't want to do this anymore. But I also believe if you publicly state something and you don't do it, um, there's a little bit of embarrassment and self-shame that goes with that. And so I just kept my eye on the prize, and I knew that consistent behavior and being deliberate and not giving up would get me to where I want to go. And I had to be patient, which probably patience is not my strongest skill. However, I was patient with myself and I was patient with the process. And I was driven to make sure that this happened for myself and those around me so I can return back to the person I was before all these issues came.
Wow, that's sounds like a lot of lessons came through there. When we fast forward to today,
Yeah.
and I mean, life keeps throwing things at us and keeps turning our worlds upside down. So, what does standing strong look like for you today, and how is it maybe showing up in your life, maybe with your clients, things like that?
Yes. I think it's helpful in a lot of ways. I work in a business where my job is to connect with people. And I think I am slower on those connections than I used to be. Instead of like, let's get to the order. Like, I really want to connect with people, understand what makes them tick, understand their fears and my own. Uh, I, my husband and I have been through a recent event of big change, which you know about, and I won't get into today. But it's had its challenges, and there are days where I haven't been able to get to the gym, and that screws with my head because I've taught myself the consistency and discipline. So I talked to my coach last Friday. We came up with a plan, and I'm back in it. I did my meal prep. I If I couldn't wake up yesterday morning to go, I went last night. And so I think just this whole lesson is we do have to put ourselves first, you know, at the risk of the cliche everyone knows now, it's the oxygen mask, right? And I no good to my work, my family, my husband if I'm not at my best. So I just work really, really hard to keep the momentum going.
That's a great message to keep ourselves first, and we often forget that, especially as women. We want to take care of everybody. So
Yes.
when you start envisioning someone holding your book and reading your story, who is it that really needs to hear your story? And then we want to know, where can we get a copy of it?
Okay, I'll answer in order. Uh, I think my book, the people I want it to hit are women probably entering in the middle or just on the other side of menopause. Women who have put on that 15, 20, 30 pounds that feel stuck and they feel, you're so funny, and they feel like, oh, well, it's just menopause. My body will never do what I want it to do. Again, it wasn't a magic pill. It was a slow, steady commitment to myself. And I hope to inspire other women to know, oh my gosh, okay, I can work through this. There are tools to help me, there are lots of people to help me, and not to just give up on their goals, their health, their fitness, their look, whatever is important to them. I want them to know that there are people who have gone through that, plus other obstacles that made it impossible or feel impossible, let's say. And what happened to my hand, on top of everything else, the breathing and the coughing, everything felt impossible. And I actually felt better when I started doing these things that feel hard and sucky and like brain damage. Like, oh, I don't want to spend my time in a kitchen. I hate cooking. But doing all those things to take care of myself have made me feel better. Um, 3, 4 years ago, I couldn't get through this conversation with you without running out of breath and coughing. So anyhow, that's who I want to touch. I want to touch women that don't know where to start and that are scared of starting because they think it can't happen. I promise it can. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Fantastic. Okay, sounds like you're talking to a lot of women. A lot of women are going, yeah, that's me. I was putting up my hand earlier. If you didn't see me, that's why she
Yeah, I
smirked.
saw
I'm like, oh,
you.
you're so funny.
Yeah.
So, so
And
Nicole, where do we get a copy of this book? And yeah, where do we get a copy of this book?
well, the best way through me is please send me a DM. I will make sure that we can get that arranged and get that in your hands. Uh, I think that's probably the best and easiest way for the people in my world. Plus, it's just an opportunity to connect with you. And if you have any questions on top of where can I get the book, I would love to answer those for you. Side note, I'm also 4 years sober. And that really had nothing to do with the other, but I know that's a struggle for a lot of people. And I'm not in any official programs, but I'm always happy to talk about that as well.
A beautiful giving heart that you have, Nicole, and obviously a woman we need to know and connect with. And thank you for being so open to invite us into your world, just to be able to DM you and
Yeah.
connect with you. We struggle with so many things and maybe become dependent on other things to help us get us through. So the fact that you're so willing just to share is really, really remarkable. So shout out to all the women who are feeling like, yeah, I'd like to kind of get to know her. First thing, DM her, connect with her, think about a book for yourself, but think about a book for your friends or others around you that could really use this type of support just to make them know that they're seen, that you see them, and that there's people out here that are maybe going through the same struggles that they are, and they're not alone. So that's really phenomenal. Nicole, thank you for being so honest with your story. Wow. Yeah, and just to read her story is you're on the
Thank you.
edge of your seat, quite literally. So, um,
Thank you, Gail.
before we conclude, do you have any final words, a quote, a message to leave us with?
Oh my gosh, I should have come prepared with a quote because I love quotes. I think, though, I'll do another pitch for the book. I think not only would the book be good for the person watching and that wants it for themselves, but I think they're going to make great gifts. There are other stories from other women from around the world. And I know if someone gave me this book, I would love it and love reading everyone's stories.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. You're beautiful and you have a beautiful heart. And thank you for showing up in your truth.
Oh,
100%.
thank you,
So,
Gail.
all right.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have this conversation. So, and we're happy you are here listening and joining in on this conversation. So please feel free to reach out to Nicole with just a simple DM. And we want to wish you, wherever you are in this world, an amazing day. So thanks for joining in.